welcome to another episode of Control Alt Access. It's a video game accessibility video and audio podcast. I'm your host, Laura. I'm here with my lovely co-host, as ever, Arevia. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Laura. How you
Wait,
doing?
I'm here. I'm here. Disability is not preventing me being here, so hell yeah, not gonna let it stop me today.
I was thinking today, somebody asked me how I was, and all I could say was, I'm surviving. I'm not thriving, but I am surviving.
I did the thing. I did the thing that I think a lot of disabled people can empathize with, which is you asked me before we recorded how I was doing, and I said I was doing all right, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing great. Why did I tell you I was?
Yeah,
It's the answer you give because it's the expected answer. No one wants to be like, I'm feeling particularly disabled today, thank you. How are
yeah,
you?
yeah,
But it's you. Of course, I can do that.
yeah. It is the reality of living with a disability and a chronic illness, and especially right now, if any one of you haven't seen on my Instagram, I'm like in the works of getting two new diagnostic, and one of them is quite serious. So like, and then I feel like I'm just living, I'm just existing in my world, which is why I'm so
Hmm.
glad I have this podcast, because that grounds me down again to talk about things that is happening in real life and not just like what ifs
Yeah.
and buts and
Exactly.
yeah.
Rather than all of these things in the future that we can't control, there's stuff here right now to be talking about, and
Yes,
much of it is video games.
yes. The best.
Do we want to start with the one we've both played some
Yeah,
of this week? Should we talk about Silksong?
yes, let's do
How are you
that.
how are you finding Hollow Knight Silksong so far?
So, so since I've been quite ill, I haven't been able to play it like properly alone. So me and
Hmm.
my husband has like shared a playthrough, and I
Yeah.
am sort of mostly just going from place to place, and he is doing the
Hmm.
bosses. Like, but I. I was a bit disappointed going into it. I was hoping that at least can we get like a little bit more accessibility, and then we
Yeah.
got nothing
So yeah,
more than
that
Hollow Knight.
yeah, we talked about Silksong a couple of weeks ago because I'd been trawling Gamescom footage to try and work out
Yeah,
what the accessibility might be. Literally the only thing that was different between the Gamescom build and release is that you can remap your controls, but otherwise, like that Gamescom build was 100% it. So like you
yeah,
can turn off hero shouts, you can tweak the audio, you can turn off camera shake. There's basically nothing else in the way of
yeah.
accessibility. Yeah.
We did test out Hollow Knight right before, like the week before. So we did like go from Hollow Knight to Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can say maybe is a bit more accessibility is that they have upped the way they design thing a bit. So there is a
Yeah.
bit clearer from what is your background and what is you. So there is less of
Yeah.
those enemies just popping up because you couldn't see them. Of course, there are some of those enemies
Hmm.
as well because they are part of the design of the game, but that they are supposed to be like hidden. But like actually, this is an enemy that I'm supposed to see, but I couldn't see it because of background noise. That isn't that much of in this game. But yeah,
Yeah, I agreed there. Having played the original Hollow Knight fairly recently before playing Silksong, I think there's a couple of things that are definitely gonna be more complicated accessibility-wise for some people. I think the most notable thing early on is the difficulty is noticeably increased.
it's it's
Yeah.
I it's too much.
Well, here's the thing. I understand entirely how they got where they got,
Yeah.
which is this was originally designed to be a DLC for Hollow Knight.
Yes.
Something that was meant to be played like you finish Hollow Knight, you finished like the hardest challenges in the game and you're looking for more of a challenge, you would sort of continue on into Silksong. And in that context, this difficulty makes sense as like a post-game challenge that you play right at the end of like the hardest bits of Hollow Knight and you're looking for something even harder to be playing.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming to jump into as its own standalone thing.
Yes.
8 years removed from like when if you did beat Hollow Knight, it was probably many years ago.
And even
Uh,
us who went from like Hollow Knight to Silksong, and
mm,
so the you are stripped from everything from the start, and almost all of the enemies that have some like hit power takes two. hits from you,
Yeah.
and you only have 5 hits. We're 10 or 12 hours in, and we
Yeah.
don't have any new shards. So you need 4 shards to build up a
Yeah.
mask, and that mask is a new life. We haven't
Yeah.
gotten more than 2 of them so far.
I have 3 out of 4 right now.
It's like, it's, and then you are on a boss that
Yeah.
hits you, and if it hits you 2 times and one of the like side I was going to say side pieces.
Yeah, the little summons,
Yes.
the minions.
The minions hits you, you're out.
Yeah.
And also the run back, because in the start there was actually really good with the run back, with being that you could open secret doors, so you could get back to the boss quite easily.
Yeah.
Mid game, no, that is not it.
Yeah, early on, that was the thing I wanted to praise this game for, is how good it was about making sure that there was always going to be a save bench very close to the boss.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I really noticed the attitude toward runbacks was changing was the area with the fake bench, or the injury bench. If you're aware of that area, the run from, because first of all, fuck that bench.
Yes.
You know, but also, even when you are able to use that bench as a safe place to pause, the run from there to the boss past it, by the time I'd done it many dozens of times, I got pretty good at the run back, but it was a pretty lengthy run back to do, like, because here's the thing, if you take even, like, 1 damage throughout that run back, that means you can't sustain a 3rd hit in the boss fight.
Yes.
Like, that, like, getting hit by 1 thing on a lengthy run back is like, oh, that's 1 hit less I can take on the boss now.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference.
I think, and I also have to say, there is the 2 things I'm left with thinking here is that on one side, I'm a bit like, you had 7-8 years, and we should be able to expect more from Team Sherry from these, like, so when it's been this long. But on the other side, the game is dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So, like, it is, and it's moddable. So I've seen already on Steam, people have made like or what is called mods that does it so that the boss only take 1 hit at a time instead of 2.
Yeah.
And
yeah, those aren't, to me, the things I struggled with most with this game. There's a couple of things that I don't think are difficulty related necessarily that were bigger initial barriers for me. One of which I overcame was getting used to the down slash that doesn't slash directly downwards, that does a 45-degree angle. Like, I got my head around it. There's an area with all these red bouncy things that you bounce on, and I got really good at it eventually, but, like, initially that was a really frustrating barrier.
Yeah.
Like, it took me many hours to get okay at that. But the bigger issue for me is around an item called the compass.
Yeah.
So, in order to see where you are on the map, like to see your location on the map, you need to have equipped an item called the compass. This is a bit of a problem for a couple of reasons for me. Initially, it takes up a slot, and it has to go in a specific color-coded slot on your crest, and that means if you're someone like me that needs that support, any other yellow items you pick up initially, you basically just don't get to use, because it's like, well, I have to have the compass.
Yep.
Anything else for that slot is useless. But where it was a bigger problem was when I unlocked my first new crest that changes up your moveset and things. The second crest I unlocked did not start with a yellow slot on it, so I couldn't equip the compass.
Yeah.
So that cool new moveset I unlocked was basically pointless for me, because I was like, if I can't equip the compass to it, I cannot play this game.
Yep.
And it was a really weird feeling to go, and I know that there is a way to unlock more slots. I didn't have any ability to unlock more slots at the time, but I got what should have been a really cool moment of progression in-game, and instantly had to go, I have to put this aside. Not only can I not tell where I'm going, which is going to make this game unplayable for me, but it's also changed the downward slash that I'd only just gotten used to, and I don't have it in me to learn a second type of downward slash right now. And that was not the relationship I wanted to have with, oh cool, I've unlocked new moves.
There is sort of, that is like the bittersweet thing of this game taking 8 years, is that in those 8 years, we have had a bunch of other games in the same genre as this, like Prince of Persia, who
Yeah.
did a lot of cool things, like the map, the ability to put a picture on your map to know where to go back to and stuff like that. So there are other companies who have progressed a lot in this space. And I think technically that, because I've seen Silksong getting 10 out of 10 a lot of places, and keep in mind, I am enjoying, we are having fun with this game, but at some point I don't feel like it is as good, well made as actually Hollow Knight was, because I don't feel like it is fairly punishing you. I feel like
Yeah.
it's, as you say, it feels like this is supposed to be a DLC, not a standalone game, because in a standalone game,
Yeah.
you have to learn your players from the start. And this is also a game that is sold not like a Hollow Knight 2, it's sold like a game on itself. And yeah.
It has a problem, and again, I want to preface this with I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I am
Yes.
sticking with it. I'm having a
Yes.
great time with it. I think it is an amazingly made game, but I also do feel like at times its difficulty is there to go, fuck you, here's a new wall to get over, more than it is to go, here's a new challenge, rise to it.
Yes.
It's got a little of that issue where it sometimes feels like it is being punishing to be to arbitrarily be more of a challenge for the top end of players than it is to be a gradual difficulty ramp that is going to be more broadly accessible. And that's fine as a developer. If that's the route you want to take, more power to you. But I am having less fun than I could be with it, in large part because it feels like it is tackling a challenge curve that is for players who are not me.
And also,
And it's a shame, yeah.
some of the bosses now I see, and some of them have been patched to be a bit easier. But some of the bosses and some of the enemies are, it feels like it's not a punishment. Like, say, other hard games that I a lot of times shit on, but actually are good at this, like Dark Souls. A lot of times when you play that game, you rarely feel like it's the game's fault that you lost. You feel like, okay, this is on me. I need to now think around it. Like, it's like a puzzle, and I feel that often is internalized, and I feel like I can be better, and that also means that when I get something done in that game, I feel proud because I did it. I was better this time. But sometimes in Silksong, I feel like I get annoyed at the game mechanics, at the game, how the game bosses are set up. And it's sort of like, you haven't shown me, you haven't taught me, as you say, how to progress this slowly. You just put up a wall and then you haven't said anything. And then it gets frustrating and not fun. And I think it is a problem, and why I myself wouldn't give this a 10 out of 10. But it's still a really fun game.
Yeah.
But I did talk with my husband about it, and we're a bit like, will we actually ever finish this game?
Yeah.
When it is like this.
I had a couple of bosses that I've been particularly thinking about in terms of boss design in Silksong. There's one in the first act that is like a big fly that like dashes side to side and bashes into the walls a bit, and that does a lot of summoning of minions. And in that fight, it felt like a bit of a war of attrition and a certain degree of luck involved in my success, because I very much had to rely on the right kinds of minions being summoned, because which minions were summoned was random, and some of them were going to be a much bigger problem or a much easier problem than others. But also, certain this big fly boss like would slam down on the ground, and that would sometimes kill the minions.
Yeah.
But some of the minions had like slightly wonky hitboxes, and it looked like they should have been killed, and they weren't. And when you're like fighting for your life against a boss, and you're like, "Oh, thank you! It finally did the down slam that'll kill the minion," and the minion doesn't die. And that's what kills you. It felt to me like it was not my fault that I died. It was like, no, that thing should have died when it was crushed. it should have been out of my way. I should have been safe. Um,
Yeah.
but on the other end, there is a fight I want to talk about that I had a very interesting experience with, which I don't know if you've seen a boss that is a mole on the ceiling that vomits down.
Oh, I can't think I've done
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I know.
Well, the deal with it is that it's in this long room full of platforms, and in the small gap when it's not vomiting down, you're meant to jump up on the platform, do a short hop, so like a little jump and stab upwards to hit the mole, and then get back under the platform before it starts throwing up on you. And I was having real trouble because I'm not good at doing short hops. I'm not good at pressing the jump button a short enough period of time.
Mhm.
So every time I did it, I was accidentally jumping and hitting the boss with my character and taking 2 damage. What I eventually realized is that the platforms in that room are at different heights, and I found one that was lower to the ground, so my bad short hop that goes too high wasn't wasn't causing me to collide with the boss. So there were things in the room that allowed me, as someone that was bad at doing like the quick press for a short hop, to still be able to do the intended boss mechanic.
That's cool.
And that was really interesting. It was one where I did feel like, oh, the tools were in here that I can't do the mechanic the fight clearly wanted, but
Yeah,
there was something in place that could allow me to still kind of do what the boss was intended to be beaten as.
that's
And
fun.
that was a moment of design that did feel really good from an accessibility perspective. I don't know how intentional that design was, but it did feel like there was room for my issue with the gameplay mechanics to be worked around.
I also one thing I really enjoyed is that you now can get the HUD a bit bigger. Did you see that? You can
Yeah,
have a large HUD. I really enjoyed that one though.
yeah,
Because I don't see the telly that good.
yeah.
When I'm lying at the sofa. So for me, that was good. I just wish that also ended up being for the text, because the text
Hmm,
is like it's in a box and you could easily make it bigger. So that is something I just hope will end up coming up with a patch, which is something they can patch
yeah.
up. So that would be cool to see. Did you, by the way, hear the story about one of the bosses? I'm not going to spoil anything because it's a bit later, but
Oh,
like,
yeah, the one that is based on a person.
yeah, I think that was really sweet though.
It
Um,
is very sweet.
if
Yeah.
any of our audience haven't heard about it, Team Sherry met up with a young gamer that sadly had terminal cancer, and all and they got to meet and talk and all that jazz, and this gamer got to design a boss, and that boss got to be named after this gamer. So if you
Yeah.
play the game and you meet a boss called Seth, know that that is designed by a wonderful gamer that sadly passed away later, but will be forever immortalized in this game, and I think that's cool.
It is very sweet. Yeah.
Very sweet.
So yeah, Silksong, great game that I am not convinced I will ever complete,
Yeah.
but I had a fun time spending like 4 hours on a single boss, just running to it, dying, running to it, dying, and eventually
Yeah.
getting there and going, I was stubborn enough to succeed.
I have had some days I've been really ill, and then like Björna, my husband, is sitting in the living room playing games so that I have something to do or entertain me
Mm.
by, and then I fall asleep because medication is quite strong. Then I fall asleep, and then I wake up 2 hours later, and it's still on the same bus, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't miss anything.
Yay. uh
Oh.
well, what about you? What else have you been playing this week?
I have played a new game that I
Mm.
randomly came over because the YouTuber Gab Smolders played it, called The Whisper of the House. Whisper of the
Mm.
House is a cute little organization and like moving game based on, inspired by like unpacking. But the
Okay.
difference from unpacking is that you in this world are a person who your job is to organize and unpack for people and clean up for people. So you're a little like pixel art, little sprite going around in a town, and you can also do a lot of small like side quests in that town. And every single day you get letters, and then you can choose which house you want to go to sort out and organize. And it is so much fun for people who enjoy this. And at the moment, this is like what I need when I am ill, because You can play it with only your mouse, and you need one button on your keyboard. That's it. And then you can just relax. There is no time pressure. There is no one to say anything. Some of the levels are like you have to put them places, but other than that, you can do whatever you want. But the fun part about this is that this is like one of my favorite genres, which is like cozy games meet horror games.
Yeah.
Because this game there is like side quest and like a quest line slightly that has like a horror inspired thing, and I haven't completed it, so I don't know what it is. But like one of the first house you find a secret back room where somebody has suddenly been living. So like you're like unpacking, but then you come into this room and you're just like, why is there bottles here and a mattress on the floor and like the prison strikes on the wall kind of deal, and you're just like, what is this? So it is that fun genre between cozy organization, no time pressure, nothing, anything. You just relax and have fun. And there is a story here that is a bit dark, but I don't know how dark it will be. I don't think it will be that dark, but it is fun. And I think it is really, really worth checking out if you want a game that is heavy on the mouse, especially if you have one-arm games that you want. One-arm games to play with one hand. Okay, I am tired, people.
I understood. It's all good.
And as I have like buttons on the side of my computer mouse, so I have just like made that into the one button I need on my keyboard, so you can just play it with one hand. And I think it's so fantastic, just chilling and playing this game. And organization, highly recommend checking it out. And you, Laura, what other things have you been playing?
I've not been playing a lot else that I can talk in depth about. I can mention that by the time we next record Control Alt Access, I'll be able to talk about Ghost of Yōtei, because I've been playing that for a couple of weeks for accessibility review. And one thing I just want to quickly say there that I can say is, I really appreciate how good PlayStation often is with their AAA games of getting review codes out like multiple weeks early.
Yes.
Like, I think this is about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of review embargo, which is like a week ahead of release, which is really appreciated for accessibility coverage where I might need longer than some other people to get through a game. I really appreciate having that time. So I'll have accessibility thoughts on that next time we record. But the thing that I can talk in some depth about is I've gone back into Pokemon mode. Because a couple of things. Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out in like a month, which is really soon. And a bunch of new Pokemon games just got announced at Nintendo Direct, including one that looks like it's Minecraft Animal Crossing Pokemon, where you play as a Ditto looking like a human, which is adorable and weird.
That will be so good.
It looks so good. But knowing that the new Pokemon is coming out in like a month, and the fact that I've been having a particularly autism-y couple of weeks, like, no better way to put it. I've been in the I need to obsessively do the same thing repeatedly forever period. I've been in one of those spells, and what I've decided to do is do some shiny hunting in Pokemon. Because I've talked about this before. I'm trying to get one of every single species of shiny Pokemon that has ever existed, which is like 1,000 different species of Pokemon at like 1 in 4,000 odds per species. And I am down to 80 species left to go.
Damn.
A lot of those are Generation 5 Pokemon, which I will presumably be able to shiny hunt in Legends ZA. The remaining ones are some legendaries from some past games that I need to shiny hunt. And a method that I never really did shiny hunting in the past, and I wanted to give a proper fair shake, was something called Dynamax Adventures in Pokemon Sword and Shield. This was available in the DLC, the second DLC for Sword and Shield, and the idea was you do a series of like 4 raid battles, and at the end of that there'll be a legendary, and it's random which legendary you'll find, but if you find one that you particularly want to shiny hunt, you can save that in one of 3 slots to like guarantee that'll be the one that you find. And every Pokemon you encounter in this has 1 in 100 odds of being shiny, which is pretty good odds, but
Yeah.
it means doing like you have to successfully do 4 multiplayer raid battles to get to the legendary, then beat the legendary to then find out if it was shiny or not. And I'm not sure how I feel about this shiny hunting method, because like the biggest problem with it is most people who are going to obsessively shiny hunt a legendary this way aren't going to have 3 other people to do it in multiplayer with, to obsessively fight the same legendary hundreds of times back to back to try and get a shiny. Which means that realistically, you need to play with like 3 computer-controlled AI people in your other 3 slots doing these battles and fighting the legendary. And the problem is, I, as a human, can go, cool, I know I am, like, the legendary at the end of this is going to be Tapu Fini. I know what type that is, I know what types are strong against it. I will pick... Because you don't bring your own Pokemon into the battle, you choose which Pokemon you encounter along the way to be your team. So I can go, I know what's a good counter, yes, I'll put that on my team. Whereas the AI will routinely, like, I'll get an opportunity for an AI character to pick up a very good counter for the legendary, and they'll just go, no, I don't want it. I'd rather keep this one that's weak to the legendary. And then we get to the legendary and we get knocked out too many times and fail the battle. And there's no way for me to force the NPCs to take good Pokemon.
AI do be AIing.
I can only put them in front of good Pokemon and hope and pray that they take them.
You are like having to get the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah, exactly. So, in theory, it should be 100 runs of this, so like 400 raids. I should have 100 encounters with the legendary. I should statistically encounter the legendary. But not every time am I getting through the 4 fights and beating the legendary because of these NPCs. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this. It's way higher shiny odds than other shiny hunting methods for these legendaries, but it is taking me way longer per roll of the dice, and statistically I think I'm probably better doing just load up a game, stand in front of the Pokemon, encounter it, is it shiny? No, reset the game, try again.
Yeah.
But that's also, like, easier to accidentally zone out doing, and here I'm actually getting to do battles to find out if I got a shiny.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm going to stick with it this way, but I've been doing this method of shiny hunting in, like, all of my free time the last, like, week or so.
That is nice, though. I never fell into the shiny hunting bucket. But I'm looking forward to the new Pokemon game and having the ye all argument and battle with people of, are Pokemon accessible or not? Yes, they are, because they are easy to play, but no, they're not, because there is nothing else for going for them, so... Yeah.
I'm waiting to find out whether the sound of, like, a shiny Pokemon appeared off screen, it made a sparkle sound, if that's back from Legends Arceus.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I hope so. Rumors have said it is back, and it would make sense for it to be back, but I'm
they got a lot of flack for taking it out, though.
They also got a lot of flack for having it in. A lot of people got like very shouty of, "Oh, you made shiny hunting too easy by doing this."
Oh no! Other people can also achieve something in my life.
Right?
Boo-hoo.
I know. But we'll see. That is like a month away, and I am ready to absolutely lose all of my free time to that when it comes out. That is going to be my... I'm going to spend all winter just obsessively finding shiny Pokemon again. It's going to be great.
No, I'm going to play the game, but not shiny hunting, but play it.
Yeah, we've got a couple of short news stories this week. Yeah. Should we jump over to those?
Oh yes. I can't go podcast without talking about Peak. It seems.
Yeah,
like...
do you want to talk about Peak first? Because they've done more accessibility yet again.
Accessibility. They don't stop. So I don't know if I said this last time, but I know that like they got a bit of criticism because their bug phobia mode didn't include bugs like the bees, because technically they are
Yeah.
bugs as well. Now the bugs also are Bing Bong. So Bing Bong is everywhere. If you take on bug phobia mode, you have so much Bing Bong in your game here to existence. But the new thing now is that they have added colorblind mode, and they have done it correct, which is
Yay!
so nice to say. So normally when companies add what do you call it, colorblind mode, they add
Yeah.
filters. Luckily that has not happened this time. What they actually have added this time is that every single fruit in the game is given a color, but this color is also indicated by stripes or stars, I think it was stars, or circles. So if you look at a mushroom that can either be lethal or non-lethal, it will either have stripes or circles. So instead of having to learn the pattern on the mushroom, and it can be hard to see because some of them were like, you had to be really, really looking really, really close to them, you can now see, does this one have circles or does it have stripes? Which one was poison, which one was not? Brilliant! They have learned. They have learned!
Hooray! That is such good news. Hurrah!
And if every single other company can learn this, like, this is how you do colorblind mode. Like, I know some people, like, still my husband, sometimes when there is a game who has colorblind mode that is a filter, he do see it a bit better, but that is more because the game often have then a higher contrast in that, other than the actual filter. It's the contrast in itself that makes it easier for him to see and see different things in colors.
It's a very brute force solution that can be helpful, but even when it is helpful, is usually to the detriment of overall visual design.
Yes.
Like, the game looks really weird as a result. It's not done in a tailored way that tries to keep the game looking good for people who are colorblind.
And it doesn't, it just helps partially. It doesn't help in every single case, but doing it like this, where you use forms and shapes instead, makes it a lot better.
It's just fantastic. The other story we have this week is a rare opportunity to say something positive about Nintendo and accessibility.
Illegal.
So during a recent Nintendo Direct, we got the announcement that Super Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 are both getting re-released on Switch. They're getting updated with some new visual options and stuff like that. But one of the things that both of them is going to have is a new assist mode.
Yay!
The assist mode increases your life. I think it takes you from default of having 3 chunks of life to 6. If you fall off of a ledge, you'll get put back on the planet without any kind of penalty, taking any damage or having to restart. And other things. We don't know all of the specifics of what it does, but at the very least, more life and less penalty for accidentally falling off of platforms.
Yeah.
And this is something you can turn on or off at any time in the pause menu, which is really cool.
Love it. We do give Nintendo a lot of shit on this podcast.
Yeah,
but they are trying.
If I wanted to be critical, I would maybe point out that Mario 3D All-Stars that people have already purchased, that was available for the 35th anniversary of Mario, that has Mario Galaxy in it, is seemingly not being updated to get this assist mode.
Oh.
So people may have already purchased Mario Galaxy and they're not adding assist mode to it. You've got to buy it again over here to get the assist mode, which is not ideal.
No.
But, you know, it's so rare we get a nice positive story about Nintendo accessibility. I think we put that to the side for a second and go, thank you, Nintendo, for thinking about accessibility. That's a good step. Well done, applause. Please keep doing it.
Please keep doing it. It's all we can ask for, though. Like, in the end, though, it is up to the developers if they want to add accessibility or not. Yeah. We're just trying.
Exactly. But I think that's everything we got for this week.
Yeah, a bit of a short one, but
I think we're both happy for it to be a short one this week, because you know, bodies be bodying. But what
Massively.
about you, Evie? Have you got any other stuff going on that you want people to know about and find you places and such?
No, I sadly have had to put everything on hold. If you are disabled and chronically ill, you know this field.
Yeah,
Sadly, I also had to turn down work. I have had to give
yeah,
work to other people. And to be honest, right now, I'm just trying to be afloat. My big event
yeah.
that I was supposed to go to, I had to turn down as well, which
Mm,
was really, really hard. But that is the reality. And I love my community and I love the
yeah,
disability or chronically ill community, but this is sadly the part that is also sometimes we just I want to talk about it. I want to also like show that you know what, sometimes it fucking sucks being
yeah,
disabled and being
yeah.
chronically ill. Uh
We've had some conversations like this work-wise
yeah.
recently where we've talked about like sometimes being disabled just fucking sucks.
And like and
That's how it
right
be.
now, yeah. But the only thing I am trying to focus on right now is that we have free healthcare in Norway. I was in a
Oh
hospital.
yeah.
I got extremely well taken care of in the hospital. Everybody respected my PTSD diagnostic. The doctor was overly good at explaining things to me. And everyone is like trying to figure out how this is. Like, I feel taken care of from everyone. It's
I'm
just a
so
waiting
happy
game.
to hear that. That
Yeah.
is a ray of sunshine
Yeah.
in a not great story, so I'm glad.
But I am soon, though, not after this episode, but after the next episode, will be in Japan for my honeymoon, even though I'm
Ooh.
ill. So if you want to like see some Japan, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima stuff, go and follow me on Instagram. I am finding to be a Revia everywhere except for TikTok, where I am a Revia Gaming because somebody stole my name. I made a really silly and so many people laughed because I was really ill the other day and I made a TikTok in my like just chilling sleeping clothing and glasses
Yeah.
because I was so ill and I was just like I want to talk about mobile games. So I am on the hunt for the best mobile games to play if you're ill. So if anybody know any good mobile games, let me know because I will
Mm.
test them and I will give you a feedback. But yeah, that's my life at the moment. Laura, where can I find you?
You can find me at Laura K Buzz pretty much everywhere on the internet. Things that I have going on at the moment. I'll have a Ghost of Yōtei accessibility review up on September 25th, I believe.
Yes.
Um, other than that, myself and my wife Jane, mostly my wife Jane at the moment, I've been working on the audiobook version of Who Hunts the Whale, the
Hey.
novel that we wrote together about poor executive management in the video game industry.
Yeah.
We are working on recording the audiobook, recording all the voices for it, getting some guest voices in, so that
Yay.
should hopefully be in the not too distant future. That should
Oh,
be
that's so
available for
cool.
people. Very excited to get that
Yeah.
out there. But for now, you can check out other audiobooks I have, which include Gender Euphoria. That is sorted, so I get paid for that now. Stupid Unbound is
Woo!
out the way. I can get paid for at least the audiobooks of Gender Euphoria. I will get paid for.
Yeah.
But you can also find audiobooks for Uncomfortable Labels and Things I Learned from Mario's Butt on laurakbuzzstore.com. Those are the ones at the moment. Go check those out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week, I think. Thank you everyone for watching or listening. We hope you've enjoyed, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.